Welcome to all. I am Dr.S.SURYA, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, A.D.M. College for Women, Autonomous, Nagapattinam. Today we are going to learn about agricultural chemistry. First, we know what is meant by agricultural chemistry. Agricultural chemistry can be defined as the science of chemistry and biochemistry in relation to agriculture and agriculture practice with the objective of improving the quality of soil and plant nutrition, increasing yield and preserving the environment. Introduction to fertilizer. Humans need to eat properly to stay healthy, so plants need certain nutrients to grow properly. Fertilizer is a substance added to soil to improve plant growth and yield. Basically, it is a chemical or natural substance is added to soil or land to increase its fertility. Fertilizer are food supplements for plants and need 16 nutrients to be healthy. What is a fertilizer? A fertilizer is any material of natural or synthetic origin that is applied to soil or to plant tissues to supply one or more plant nutrients essential to the growth of plants. The complete fertilizer versus incomplete fertilizer. Complete fertilizer has all three primary nutrients, that are nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. For example, 10:10:10 and 15:30:15 or 20:5:20. The incomplete does not have all three primary nutrients. For example, 20:0:0 or 0:20:0 or 1:0:44. The basic form of fertilizer, the three form is main three forms. First one granular, second powdered and third one liquid. Granular is a designed to be scratched into the soil and water soluble. Powdered is designed to be dissolved in water for liquid feeding to soil and foliage. And last one, liquid is usually a concentrated from it to be mixed with water. The classification of fertilizer is three types. First one, straight fertilizer, complex fertilizer and mixed fertilizer. First, we go to straight fertilizer are those which supply only one primary nutrient, that is nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. For example, urea, ammonium sulfate and potassium sulfate. Then complex fertilizer is contained 2 or 3 primary plant nutrients, of which 2 primary nutrients are in chemical combination, usually produced in granular form. For example, diammonium phosphate, nitrophosphate and ammonium phosphate. Then last, mixed fertilizer, a physical mixture of straight fertilizer. They contain 2 or 3 primary plant nutrients made by thoroughly mixing the ingredients either mechanically or manually. The type of fertilizer is classified into 2 main types, organic and inorganic fertilizer. The organic fertilizer, natural fertilizer derived from plants and animals, are known as organic fertilizer. By adding carbonic molecules necessary for plant growth, it enriches to the soil. Organic fertilizer boost the amount of organic matter into the soil, encourage microbial reproduction and alter the physical and chemical composition of the soil. It is regarded as one of the essential elements for food that are green. The organic fertilizer can be obtained from the following products: agricultural waste, for example, plant residue from the agriculture, livestock manure, leftover feed, manure, industrial waste, gasoline and solvent. And third, municipal sludge is from the sanitary waste in septic tank, textile and leather factory waste. The inorganic fertilizer is defined as chemical fertilizer generated by chemical technique that contain nutrient for crop growth are known as inorganic fertilizer. The inorganic fertilizer are to be following types: nitrogen fertilizer, phosphorus fertilizer and potassium fertilizer. It is simple to call as NPK fertilizer. First we go nitrogen fertilizer. Nitrogen fertilizer contain nitrogen as necessary for the development of crops. Nitrogen is a key constant of chlorophyll, helps maintain balance the process of photosynthesis. It is also a part of amino acid in plants and contain protein. Nitrogen fertilizer improve the production and quality of agricultural product. Then potassium fertilizer is the third key nutrient of commercial fertilizer. It helps strengthen the plant ability to resist disease and plays an important role in increasing crop yield and overall quality. Potassium also protects the plant when the weather is cold or dry, strengthening its root system and preventing wilt. Nitrogen fertilizer can be further classified into sources and form of fertilizer. The ammonium fertilizer it contains a nutrient nitrogen in the form of ammonium or ammonia. Except rice, all crops absorb nitrogen in nitrate form. These fertilizers are resistant to leaching loss as the ammonium ions get readily absorbed on the colloidal complex of the soil. The ammonium sulfate, the formula NH4 twice and SO4. It is a white salt completely soluble in water containing 20.6% of nitrogen and 20.0% of sulfur is present in the ammonium sulfate salt. It is used advantageously in rice and jute cultivation. It is easy to handle and it is stored well under dry condition. During the rainy season, it sometimes forms lumps. It can be applied before sowing, at the time of sowing or the top dressing to the growing crop. The aqua ammonia, 21% of nitrogen in present. The aqua ammonia is a liquid under low pressure and must be incorporated into the soil to prevent the loss of free ammonia to the atmosphere. It is possible to lose all the free ammonia. It is not incorporated. Aqua ammonia has advantage over anhydrous ammonia. The placement need not to be as deep. At high pressure, applicators are not required. The urea is present, nitrogen 46% is present in the urea. The most widely used dry nitrogen fertilizer. Once applied to the soil, urea is converted into the ammonia, which react with the water to form ammonium within 2 or 3 days, faster under warm condition. Some volatilization of ammonia can occur when urea is surface applied. Volatile ammonia lasts from early spring top dressing of urea on beach or pasture is seldom a problem. However, avoid top dressing of urea on pastures during summer months because of the potential for greater ammonia losses. The ammonium nitrate is a decreasing popularly because of storage problem associated with fire and exposure hazards. Only 33% of nitrogen present in the ammonium nitrate. It is an excellent material for many purposes. Calcium ammonium nitrate is a mixture of ammonium nitrate and crushed limestone. Neither of these materials should be used for fall applications. The phosphorus fertilizer is the principal nutrient for the fertilizer. The effective phosphorus concentration, fertilization techniques, soil characterization and crop strength all affect how successful a fertilizer is the phosphorus fertilizer. The protoplasm of the cell contains phosphorus, which is crucial for cell growth and proliferation. The growth of the plant root is aided by the phosphorus fertilizer. The superphosphate. Superphosphate only 20% is present in the superphosphate. Is also referred to as ordinary superphosphate. Is no longer used in large quantity because its lower analysis and high transpiration cost. It has been replaced by concentrated superphosphate, that is 46% only present in the superphosphate and the ammonium phosphate. One of the advantage of normal superphosphate was it is significant for 4 polyphosphate most commonly made of 30:34:0 and 11:37:0. The most common dry phosphate is 13:52:0. The concentrated superphosphate, also known as triple superphosphate, only 46% is present, is being used in mangan in indirect application as well as in granulated process and in bulk blending with other materials. Consumption has decreased in recent years due to the competitiveness of diammonium sulfate or phosphate and monoammonium phosphate, that is 18:46:0 and monoammonium phosphate is 11:48:0. These materials have better storage property and are more desirable for bulk blending, particularly where nitrogen is required in the final product. The diammonium phosphate is dry material being used extensively for bulk blending and for direct application where soil do not need potassium or where potassium is broadcast. It has the advantage of being highly water soluble, having a high analysis and often a price advantages. Diammonium phosphate has an acid effect upon the soil similar to anhydrous ammonia. Because of the high ammonia content, this material can cause germination injury if used in direct contact with the seed. Monoammonium phosphate is a dry material being used in bulk blending or direct application. Monoammonium phosphate has a lower ammonia content and may be less injurious germinating seed than diammonium phosphate. The general acromanic effect of diammonium and monoammonium phosphate are equal for most soil. The potassium fertilizer, the potassium chloride is also referred to as the nutrient of potash. It is a major source of potash used in making. Nearly 2/3 is used for direct application and the remainder is used for granulating process for bulk blending for mixed fertilizer. It is available in 4 particle sizes: fine, standard, coarse and granular structure. The fine size materials is used primarily for liquid suspension. Standard, coarse and granular sizes are used for granulating process, bulk blending or direct application. Potash varies in various color in from pink or red or white depending on the mining and recovery process used. White potash, sometimes referred to as soluble potash, is usually higher in analysis. It is used primarily for making liquid starter fertilizer. Then potassium sulfate is present in only 50%. Also referred as the sulfate of potash, is used to a limited extent to crops such as tobacco, potatoes and few vegetable crops where chloride from potassium chloride might be undesirable. Potassium sulfate in some research studies has improved specific gravity. Potato tubers, potassium sulfate may also be source of sulfur when sulfur is required. Potassium magnesium sulfate only present 22%. Is also known as sulfate of potash magnesia, is used for both direct application and in bulk blending, particularly where magnesium is needed. It may also be used as a source of sulfur. The potassium hydroxide is known as caustic potash, is used to a limited extent in the production of liquid mixed fertilizer. The present cost of producing potassium hydroxide has limited its use in fertilizer industry, even though it is a very desirable product due to highly solubility and low salt index. Potassium nitrate, only 42% in the, also known as nitrate of potash, is being used in migrant primarily on high value of crops such as celery, tomatoes, potatoes and leafy vegetables, a few fruit crops. It has a low salt index and provide nitrate N, which may be desirable for these specialty crops. Production costs have limited general use for most agronomic field crops. The slow release fertilizer are used primarily in the turf, sod and ornamental nursery industry. Since plants can take up nutrient continuously, it may be beneficial to provide them with a somewhat steady supply throughout their most active period of growth. Perhaps the most efficient way to achieve this is to apply the slow release fertilizer designed to release nutrient at rate matching the specific plant nutrient requirement. Slow release fertilizer contain one or more essential nutrients. These elements are released or made available for plant use over an extended time period. The slow release fertilizer are generally too costly for use 15 in agronomic cropping system. Ongoing research effort explore the potential for use of these materials as in farrow starter fertilizer because of their relatively low cost index. The source of fertilizer, the ammonium chloride, it is a white salt containing only 26% of nitrogen in the ammonium chloride. It is usually not recommended for tomato, tobacco and such other crops as may be injured by chlorine. The advantage of fertilizer is mentioned: easy to transport, store and apply. For supplying a specific nutrient, can be selected a specific fertilizer due to its nutrient specific nature, water soluble and can be easily dissolved in soil, hence they are easily absorbed by the plant. They have a rapid effect on the crops, increase the crop yield and provide enough food to feed the large population, predictable and reliable. The disadvantage of fertilizer have the following disadvantage: expensive. The ingredients in the fertilizer are toxic to the skin and respiratory system. Excessive use of fertilizer damages the plant and reduces soil fertility. Leaching occurs and the fertilizer reaches the river, causing eutrophication. Long-term use reduces the microbial activity and disturbs the pH of the soil. The use of fertilizer used for the various purposes. The use of fertilizer is mentioned, used to provide additional nutrient to the plant. They are added to improve the yield of the crops. The nitrogen-rich fertilizer are used the greening of lawn. Organic fertilizer improve the texture and fertility to the soil. Gardeners use fertilizer to address the certain needs of the plant, such as nutritional needs. Fertilizer are added to potted plant to replace the lost nutrient. The fertilizer can be essential to the plant in the following ways. Fertilizer make plant more resistant to the pest. As a result, there are using fewer insecticide and herbicide, which result in healthier crops. Hence, fewer illness are present, giving the crop an aesthetic value. Fertilizer improve the water holding capacity of the plant and increasing root depth. The potassium content present in the fertilizer strengthen the straw and stalk of the plant. The phosphorus present in the fertilizer helps to foster development of root and formation of seed in plant. Nitrogen in the fertilizer promote the plant growth, which is seen in the green color of plant. So, the importance of potassium, phosphorus and nitrogen. The potassium content present in the fertilizer, the secondary and micronutrient are the essential nutrient required by the plant, the smaller amount than macronutrient. Although plant only require relatively small amount of second nutrient and micronutrient, there are essential for plant growth. If there are deficient, critical plant function can be limited, resulting in plant abnormality, reduced growth and lower yield potential. The second nutrient example for sulfur and magnesium. Macronutrient example for zinc, magnesium, manganese, boron, copper, iron, molybdenum, chloride and nickel. The second nutrient, first we go to sulfur. Sulfur is an essential nutrient for plant growth and has a various function in the plant. It is found in some amino acids and is essential for chlorophyll formation. It is active in the metabolism of nitrogen. Then sulfur deficiency are more likely in sandy soil with low organic matter and high rainfall condition. Sulfur deficiency first appear on the younger leaves. Then magnesium is a powerhouse behind the photosynthesis in plant. Without magnesium, chlorophyll cannot be captured the sun energy needed for the photosynthesis. Magnesium is required to give leaves their green color. Magnesium deficiency in the plant is common where soil is not rich in organic matter. Heavy rainfall can cause a deficiency to occur by leaching magnesium out of sandy or acidic soil. Then zinc, this microbe which plays a role in conversion of starch to sugar and other metabolic process, can sometimes be deficient in high pH soil and cool and wet soil. It is the most common micronutrient deficiency. Zinc aid in the carbohydrate, protein and chlorophyll formation and is an important component of various enzymes responsible for the defining metabolic process. Deficient corn shows white stripping band on leaves. Potential soil and crop condition for zinc deficiency include high pH soil greater than 7, cool wet soil and high phosphorus rate. The manganese activates enzyme in growth process and is essential for chlorophyll development. The deficiency of this micronutrient can turn plants to an olive green with fine stripping. Potential soil and crop condition for the manganese deficiency include black sands, muck, poorly drained depressional soil with less than 6.2 pH. Then boron aids in the structure of the cell wall. It can be easily lost to leaching in heavy rainfall. As soil pH increases, boron availability will decrease. Then copper is the micronutrient promotes seed production in plant and has the role in chlorophyll and enzyme activity. Copper is needed to activate several plant enzymes that are essential for building and converting amino acid to protein. Deficiency symptoms occur most on new plant growth, where the plant takes on a bleached appearance and may die. Potential soil and crop condition for copper deficiency include organic soil and black sand. Then the iron is needed for the development of chlorophyll in plant. It is an activator for respiration, photosynthesis and nitrogen fixation. This micronutrient is a component of several enzymes. It assists in nitrate reduction and energy production and is essential for the formation of chlorophyll. Then molybdenum, chloride, nickel. These are the smallest micro on the micronutrient. Hardly ever these deficient in area coughs, but it is best to always test for them. Molybdenum is an essential component of enzyme needed for nitrogen metabolism and the synthesis of amino acid in plant. Thank you.